Deck the
Deck the
hall
halls
with
with
boughs
boughs
of
of
holly.
holly.
La
Shabba
la
lubba
la
bow.
la 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 la
My Mariah Carey impression, everybody.
Heard.
Oh,
Okay,
man,
got everyone off to a good
if I could sing like her, oh,
We
game
just
over, dude.
annihilated
I feel like
everyone.
y'all weren't in tune and in sync with me. Oh
I
my
feel
god,
like
there are lights. Whoa, hey.
You weren't in tune and in sync with us.
Whoa, there are lights here.
Yeah, we put up lights earlier.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, awesome. I started putting up lights. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
we physically put up those trees. You don't remember? Like
I do remember. I remember we went in. Yeah.
Bunch of presents rewrapped too. We did a lot of work, and I guess we just have amnesia. But yeah, how's everyone doing, man? It's been a little bit.
Welcome to the first week of December. We have a nice little special episode because y'all are gonna be abandoning me tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I feel like every episode this month is going to be special because it's Christmas time.
It's very true.
Every Christmas episode is special.
Yeah, we're bringing in the Christmas spirit, so this is, we need this.
Yeah. So we are recording a day early. We are recording on Friday. We usually record on Saturday, but that is because 2 of 3 of us will be traveling. And we will not have access, or it would be easily accessible. And also, we wanted to keep you guys entertained. So here we are on a Friday night.
Yeah,
it's the golden rule of content creation: being consistent.
Yeah, that was rule number 1.
Said by like Jake Paul or something, or Logan Paul. Or whatever. I don't know.
Speaking of Jake Paul, I want to start it off.
Oh gosh, why did I even?
That's a good way to start.
A few things. I want to ask a question before I ask this question. Did you guys see the fight between Nate Robinson and Jake Paul?
I didn't see the fight, but I basically watched it enough off of like TikTok and Vine and all these places to where I've seen the fight.
Okay, it wasn't. I didn't watch it either. I should have better phrased that. Did you guys see the knockout?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Nate Robinson got lit up.
Dude, okay, so if you haven't watched it, if you're listening, Jake Paul, he was famous from Vine. He did shows like Bizarre Bark on Disney Channel, but now he's this like tool that is just some like.
Well, he's always been a tool. Let's just get that.
But like if you open the dictionary and you see D-bag, like it's him and his brother like together, like etched and sketched.
I like
in the Webster dictionary.
I actually like listening to Logan Paul a little bit. His podcast is actually kind of cool. I mean, he does open up conversation there. Jake just seems like he's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, he's funny to watch. But I think he's a douchey person. He's a very douchey man.
Oh yeah.
But basically, a lot of these like YouTubers or Vine stars, TikTok stars, whatever you want to call them, have decided to get into like the whole boxing realm. Which is cool. That's fine with me, man.
Why though? Boxing's dead. Like, let it die.
Vine dies, and they're like, I guess I got to make money somehow.
True. Yeah.
Pick it up like street fighting, and
there's OnlyFans. What happened to that? Now we're just going to boxing.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
But okay. But the thing
like
is, before the fight, everybody thought Nate Robinson was going to win because Jake Paul had boxed only like one professional bout before this one. And he won. It was when his brother fought KSI, and KSI won both times, I believe. But Jake Paul has been like training. He's been training with like actual boxing trainers and things like that. But everybody still thought Nate Robinson was going to win because he's like a natural athlete. Played basketball for like what, 10 years, Elijah?
He played for a long time. Yeah. And I specifically remember Nate Robinson with the Bulls during that run when they're trying to take down the Miami Heat.
Yeah. Like
that's what I remember him from. But he was a good player. Like he's not like the whole thing like, oh, he's a retired NBA player. He's only 34. Like he's still a world-class athlete if you make it to the NBA and play for 10 plus years. Like he's not just a scrub, you know?
Yeah.
But what's funny is that this shows that sports don't translate well into all like other sports.
It's very true.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody thought Nate Robinson.
Let's hear Bo Jackson.
Greater,
it's very true.
It's a one-time occurrence.
Michael Jordan actually played well in the, I think, minor leagues.
He did good in the minor leagues.
So I'll give it to Jordan too. But
Yeah.
But again, Nate Robinson was going to win. They said it. This is what's going to happen. Jake Paul finally shut up. Match came, round 2, knockout within like the first, I think, minute or so.
It's like 30 seconds. Like they walk out of each other's corner, and then Nate like kind of just goes up at him, and then Jake lands 2 punches right at the jaw and then the upper temple, and then Nate just falls flat.
What's funny is round 1, Nate Robinson got knocked down already once. So you could kind of feel it was going to happen soon. You just didn't know when. But he lasted all round 1, and then round 2 came, and he got knocked out. And Twitter and iFunny and every social media site you could think was having a field day. They were calling it the Nate Robinson challenge.
Yeah. Oh my god.
On the ground, basically, dude. Now, this is where my question is to you guys. Do you guys believe like YouTubers, TikTok stars, ex-Viners or whatever should go into like boxing? Or like would it be fun, or is it fun to watch these guys go into boxing and beat the crap out of each other?
It's not fun. Like why did people pay for this?
I feel like their followers and stuff would watch them do anything.
Yeah.
You know? Like and that's the thing. They're like if they have any remote like aspiration for anything, whether it be boxing or art or whatever, or music, you know, a lot of people try to do music after that. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like they know that their fans are going to follow them anywhere. But
yeah, it's like the Gabby show. Gabby Hanna, like she like went like and tried to become a singer.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people aspire for that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Like if our like 4 followers saw us go into a boxing ring, like would they support us? That's the real question.
That is the question.
Well, they're about to soon. Whenever I get my first amateur fight.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, that's right. You're cutting weight. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No carbs while I'm in here.
We should have like a match with our fans, like all 4 of them. We should totally just like square up against them, you know.
Absolutely.
4v1. That's it.
4v1.
No teams.
No. Just do the tag team like in wrestling, you know.
Oh, dude, that's good.
Like we'll do like a nice little rotation, you know.
Yeah. 3-man tag match. Yeah, I remember.
Exactly. Like Chris can get the biggest guy because you're clearly the best trained fighter we have, you know. Daniel, I feel is agile and swift, you know.
Oh, I got the schmooze, dude. I could out schmooze somebody for real.
There we go. He's got schmooze.
Yeah, I got the schmooze, dude.
I don't know. I think it's entertaining, but now Jake Paul is calling out Conor McGregor, and like it's different when you're calling out Nate Robinson.
What the heck, dude?
But when you're calling out a legitimate fighter and saying you're going to knock him out, that's an issue because Conor McGregor, granted Floyd Mayweather was already out of the game, but he went. I think it went to decision or something.
It went to decision, and that's where Floyd Moneyweather, whatever, makes his money because I don't think he's ever knocked out anybody.
He's a defensive fighter, so a lot of the stuff is just like counterattacks and kind of like staying back and letting the other guy charge it. Yeah,
because if you make an opponent miss, it's like worth a point or something like that, and like a boxing score, and so like that's how he racks up and wins all these things because you can't hit him.
Yeah,
you know, the boxing and some fighting or martial arts and stuff like that attract a lot of egotistical personalities, and I don't like the Mayweather thing. I don't like the McGregor thing. Like on a personal level, like I don't really I'm not attracted to that. Like as a person, I'm not like, oh dude, like I'm rooting for him because he's a good guy or anything. You know, it's just because you want to see some guy with the ego prove it, you know? And I think that's why it's easier for a guy like Jake Paul to get into it because he has that ego already. Yeah. It's like it just translates so well, but it's not like doesn't as a new viewer, I guess I would call myself. I'm not like, oh yeah, he's totally cool guy. It's just like, oh look at this guy who with an ego also have an ego again. Now he's like ego challenging McGregor, and I'm like, oh gosh, like what do you expect? You know, like that's exactly what you expect from a guy like that.
And that's the thing with any kind of like fight sport or like combat sport is I would argue that it's like 75% like ego. You have to be able to like just talk crap on the daily, like like it's constant promoting, and within that promoting, all you're doing is just talking about how trash your opponent is, you know?
Yeah.
That's where Jake Paul fits in well, is because he would talk crap about Nate, and then immediately after the fight, he's already talking about Conor, mentioning how going on his brother's podcast, mentioning he would, you know, beat Conor and everything. Like that's the whole thing, is like 70% is talking, and that's why a lot of like being someone who's like been watching MMA, like a lot of the fights I see are big because of the talking, and like none of it is when people see a fighter who doesn't promote their fight, which is when they would, you know, be egotistical. Like for those fighters, they end up kind of just they'll watch them. They'll be the greatest fighter ever. They'll be like Jan Blachowicz or whatever. He's the light heavyweight champion in the MMA. Polish power is what they call him. Super quiet dude, very humble. Doesn't talk. Excuse my language. Doesn't talk shit or anything. One of the greatest light heavyweights right now, but people don't see him that way because he isn't as like vocal about his power or vocal. Like he doesn't have that like egotistical kind of vibe to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to have that sort of moxie if you're going to be in a sport where your job is to beat the crap out of somebody else. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want like a nice passive person, you know? It's like if you're a quarterback or like a safety in the NFL, like you're going to get beat like 7 times out of the 10, you know?
Yeah.
But those 3 times, they're going to be the ones that change the play, you know? And so you like I would want somebody that has that sort of moxie and ego rather than someone who's a lot more passive and timid and like beta thinking instead of being alpha, you know?
Yeah. Well, but that's because I like the guys who just don't say crap. Not that they're passive. They just don't interact that way. They just choose not to interact in that kind of they're like, my actions are going to speak for myself on the mat type of mentality, you know? And that's what I like. Cause then I see the guy rambling and all this crap, and I'm just like, I don't like that, but like, I get the energy. I don't like, it's not attractive to me. Yeah. And then he gets his ass beat, and I'm just like, well, there you go. Like you can't live up to what you're talking about. So you just, I don't know. It's funny. It's funny to me.
It's funny you say that. That kind of reminds me of like Kobe. Like Kobe was a
Kobe, right?
He wouldn't ever like, unless you talk to him aggressive, unless you came at him like that, which no one ever did because it's Kobe. No one's gonna come at the king like that.
I would have.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God. Good
Try
luck.
that fadeaway against me, bro. Try to fade against me, bro.
Elijah, you have my undying loyalty unless you're going against Kobe. You're on your own, dude. I can't do anything for you.
That's the thing. Like, you know his talent, and it's like you wouldn't even try to talk like that because you know what he can do, for one. It's something like not knowing what you're up against, but like Kobe would just stay quiet and he would just prove it. Like he would just shoot. He would be the highest scorer on the team. He'd win the games. Like he wasn't ever out there, or most of the time he wasn't out there like, oh, we're gonna crap on him or anything. Like he was just did his thing.
Yeah, I think that's like, I get where you're coming from, Daniel. I for some reason though, it's just I do enjoy hearing that banter and like the things like that. Only in MMA though. Like that's the only time I'll like enjoy listening to these two fighters are about to fight Saturday, talking just insane crap, and some of it is like extremely witty and hilarious. And you would think like a comedian sat down and wrote this. Like it's so funny. You know what I mean?
That's
like
true.
That's what I enjoy hearing. But when it comes time to the fight, like they are like focused in a sense, and they are just like in their bag, in their head, getting ready to just beat the crap out of someone. And like I feel like MMA is the best of both worlds, to where they can talk. At the same time, they also are just like, I'm here focused. I know what needs to get done, and now I'm going to go ahead and go out and do it.
Right. Yeah. Did y'all hear about what HBO Max just did?
No.
No.
They came out with this video, and it's like check out what we have in store for you for 2021, right? And they were like, all these movies are coming out in theaters in 2021. It's like 17 movies. And they're like, and on the same exact day that they're released in the theaters, they're all going to be on HBO Max at the same time. So like, they're basically coming out on HBO. Like, so with what they did with Wonder Woman, they're literally doing that with all or like 17 movies of their 2021 roster. So
I'm still trying to process that like March 2020's happened, let alone like that we had to start preparing for 2021.
That's very true.
So, oh man.
So all right, the weird new Tom and Jerry movie. It'll be in theaters and on HBO Max on the same day. Like
I haven't seen the trailer. I really need to watch the trailer.
I think Val saw it and she questioned her existence and reality.
Yeah, it's not something we needed right now, but
no,
yeah.
Is it something that we'll ever need though? Like
it has. What's his name? Dude from. Oh, dude, I'm blanking on his name. It's Chloe Moritz or whatever. She's in Carrie and the new Carrie and all that good stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's not Mario. He's in Ant-Man. You really like him. He's in Ant-Man. He's the
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena, exactly.
Yeah.
He's in it, but it's like super corny. It's not like high caliber acting. It's like super corny.
How dare you not call Michael Pena high caliber? How dare you?
I think he's cool, man. It's just he's like this hotel manager or something, real heavy accent, and it's so it's not what we needed. I would have been totally cool with just Tom and Jerry, all cartoon,
just doing like their antics of like hitting and slapstick stuff. Like that's what Tom and Jerry is.
But the thing is that goes even further. Like they shouldn't even do a movie. Like you can't go stick with their original stuff, but like you could only take that in for like 20, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like an episode, like a regular TV episode. Yeah. I'm not going to sit in the theater for an hour and a half watching Tom and Jerry just beat the. They're doing an MMA match all of a sudden. You know,
I mean, we recently went kind of on a little cartoon spree, and that was perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with just Tom and Jerry by itself for a little bit, but like a movie. Anyways, Godzilla versus Kong is going to be straight to HBO Max too when it's also released.
I still need to see like
the new one, right? I haven't seen the new one either.
She loves the whole kaiju sort of genre of stuff, and she really liked it.
It looked really good, yeah. And it also had what's her name, 11 or whatever from Stranger Things, going like
like screaming or whatever.
That's like her niche, dude. She's like really good at going, and they just cast her in roles that are just like.
She's already getting typecasted. That's so sad. So sad.
Yeah. So the new Suicide Squad by James Gunn, gonna go straight to HBO Max. All of these other movies, the third Conjuring, the Space Jam movie, A New Legacy, which is gonna go straight next year. The whatchamacallit, a Mortal Kombat movie. I did not know they were making a Mortal Kombat movie.
I saw the poster for it, and I thought it was just a fake one that people were like pooping on, like the 90s one, which is like the ultimate 90s movie you'll ever see in your life.
Dude, I love the old Mortal Kombat 1.
I love the theme song.
Hey, number 1 is where it's at. Number 2, you can.
Number two was decent. It brought a lot of like familiar faces from the game itself. But
it's
one is the OG Mortal Kombat. Like best way to displace Mortal Kombat for what they had like available to them in the 90s. So I'm pretty happy to see what they're gonna do for this one.
The Liu Kang reptile fight, dude.
Yes,
that probably gets me goosebumps every time, dude.
If they're doing this though, and I think we discussed it last podcast, but it's like a recurring theme on this show.
It's happening real time.
Like it's happening real time. People aren't going to go to the movie theater if they just have HBO.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like HBO.
And stuff like AT&T, like I can get HBO for like 6 months free, you know.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, a lot of these streaming services, and we could say HBO specifically, are partnering with other like
AT&T owns HBO. That's why they're doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. Even like Sprint is doing stuff with like Hulu, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, like other phone companies are starting to do like pair up with like streaming services, or
like a lot of them like did like a free Netflix thing, you know, for a year or something like that.
Yeah, everyone contracts out like their thing to help sell it better and all that good stuff. Yeah. But it's like HBO is doing something that's like they did it weird. All right, so it was basically Disney was like, all right, here's Mulan, you got to pay like $30, right?
Yeah.
And then here's them like with Wonder Woman, and they're like, here's this, but it's for free 99, and free 99. And now they're like, hey, like 2021 is free 99. If you sign up for the thing.
Exactly. Like, you shouldn't have to sign up, and you only get that 1 month free or whatever. But then you go off and use somebody else's email or whatever. But
I was about to say I have like 4 emails.
So what does Disney do? Like what? I mean,
Disney
do they have to do the exact same thing? Like, do they have to meet demand now? Because
I think they do, because numbers from this quarter for Disney just overall as a company are down, and like they're losing about like $2 billion with a B.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're losing that much money this year.
I mean,
wait, hold on. You said million with an M?
No, billion with a B.
I still hear million.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
So, I mean, that's why you're seeing a lot of like Disney's already started cutting a bunch of Marvel stuff, like cutting like jobs, and then they're going to start cutting jobs for all their subsidiary, like ESPN's hemorrhaging money. ESPN's constantly hemorrhaging money, and the same thing with Warner, even though with HBO is going to have all this. As soon as they launched, they only had about 4 million subscribers, and they haven't grown since. Like they haven't seen an upward trend as that they wanted to in terms of their service for HBO Go. And so the executives there are like putting everything in on HBO Go. Like DC's getting cut. They're looking to sell Crunchyroll, which Sony's rumored to be picking up. So soon Sony's going to control all of the anime of the world. So yeah, like this is the way to boost their numbers because they have to. And Disney's in the pooper, especially with the parks being closed or like being limited or scaled back or whatever. Like they're losing money.
I think
Disney is the Mandalorian. Like that's the only thing Disney Plus subscribers there is Mandalorian.
But the thing is if they
better than the next biggest thing.
The thing is if the way that could help Disney combat HBO is if they were to release everything they have. Like this is the only like scenario that I'm thinking of is if they just release everything they have. They look at HBO's calendar, they release everything they have immediately. Just drop it then. But later on, that'll affect them because of the fact that like we'll just burn through that binge watching or whatever, and then later on they won't have any content, So
I think binge watching is secretly behind all of this because like me and Val are going through Naruto, and we already finished that. We finished that in like 2 weeks, and we're going through Naruto Shippuden, and we're like 100 episodes in, and it's only been like a week, Like as soon as we're done with these shows, like we're canceling. I think it's on Hulu, so I think we're going to cancel Hulu.
So I think that Disney's suffering basically because they've relied so much upon nostalgia, and it's like that's another recurring theme of our show is like we're constantly talking about how nostalgia affects us and stuff.
Yeah,
and exactly to your point, Mandalorian is the knight in shining armor for Disney right now. Like that's all they have. It's new. That's progressing, has a new season, and they keep renewing it. At least
the writing's well, and it's executed really well. It's like for all the other Disney stuff, like they released like the Home Alone collection. So me and Val watched 1 and 2, but like we're not going to see 3. I think they made a 4th too.
Oh yeah, they did, but don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to attempt that one.
Don't taint those memories.
But like all these sort of like remakes, like Mulan was horrible and had horrible production. horrible numbers. Dumbo didn't do very well. Do you remember Dumbo? That was live action. That was Tim Burton, by the way.
It was Tim Burton, and it had literally everyone Tim Burton works with, which is like Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, like Danny Elfman, like literally everyone of the, and
Hey, if you got a circle of friends, you keep them employed. That's what LeBron James does.
Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler
does the same damn thing too.
Kevin James, all those guys. Yeah.
If you got a crew, You got a crew. You got a crew. You got an arcade. Do your thing.
I guess with all this, you can only ride that nostalgia wave for so long. Because like nowadays,
not only that, they're not doing it right. Like all of these movies have bombed, and they bombed for a bunch of reasons. And you can't just keep grasping at straws for nostalgia. Like I'm getting to the point to where like I'm over it. Like
that's what I was just about to say. Is we are like, especially with the generations now, like as us growing up, we do get tired of things quicker.
Yeah.
And so like, we feel that nostalgia, but for me, like personally, I'm usually over it within the next like day. Like I'll hear like the news that I heard about Mulan. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. I'm so excited. The very next day I was like, oh yeah, they're coming out with a Mulan movie. Continue what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like that nostalgia effect is getting to the point where it's not lasting long on like us, and like the things that we loved so near and dear to our heart, like when we were children, when we were younger, aren't having the same effect now. And we're just like, we just don't let anything kind of like bog us down in terms of like that nostalgic feeling.
And another thing too is these like remakes aren't holding their weight compared, because everyone's going to pick the nostalgia movie over the remake. Like everyone's picking the original Aladdin over the new Aladdin.
Yeah, that's true.
So like they're
Lion King over the new Lion King for sure.
Yeah, and the Jungle Book as well. It's so it puts Disney in a really tough spot. But they got to make decisions, not just like at their creative level, like Kathleen Kennedy, like she's got to go. They need new people in there, they need, and plus the MCU isn't putting movies out. I mean, think about how much MCU will be in for them,
You're right.
And so now they don't have any movies coming out. They don't have any stuff in the works.
They do. They have, and the only reason I know this one is because I love Hawkeye, but they have the Hawkeye show that started filming. Haley Steinfeld. I love her, so
that's awesome. But like always gonna make this point. I'm like, dude, you're too late, dude. Like I'm already done with Hawkeye, dude. I don't care about Hawkeye anymore. Like they should have done that like way earlier. They should have done.
They should have done that in between Thor and First Avenger when you introduced Hawkeye.
I think they should have done both. What is it? Black Widow.
Black Widow.
They should have done a Black Widow movie, and they should have done a Hawkeye, Nick Fury movie.
Yeah.
Like
Hawkeye, Nick Fury movie would have been cool.
Like
it could have been like a drama, dude.
It could have been
I guess
Marvel. Give us a call, Marvel.
I know exactly.
I mean, we're all about the Snyder Cut, and I'm totally into HBO Max right now. But we can fix you, Disney. I'm just letting y'all know.
That's what I'm.
And I get where you're coming from, because like with the whole like Black Widow thing, I'm like over it too. I'm like, why didn't they do this sooner? But I think I'm excited for the Hawkeye series just because he's my favorite superhero. Like if he wasn't my favorite superhero, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Pixar. Like with Onward, they released Onward in theaters, right? Or did they that would go straight to Disney Plus?
I'm confused. I think that it happened right when all this stuff happened. So I think
was in theater for a little bit, and then it closed, and then they just put it on Disney Plus as like a courtesy.
Yeah. And that slept upon, and I was like, dude, that movie's awesome. That movie's awesome.
I don't even think Disney Plus, because I didn't have Disney Plus when I watched it, and I think I was on like Netflix.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, no, never mind. I did watch it through Disney Plus.
It would have to be on Disney Plus because this is not releasing anything outside of their streaming service.
Well, you know what new Pixar movie is probably going to be slept on is this Soul movie.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get released straight to the the service too.
On Christmas Day as well. So
yeah,
Wonder Woman are going out together.
But it's like you're not even hearing the hype on that, and I was hyped for that like early on when they
whenever they released that first trailer,
it looks interesting.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said like this is a movie that we're all going to go, like we'd be all willing to see in theaters.
Yeah, I'm just not hearing the hype for it, man. I feel like people are already forgetting about it, and especially because if Wonder Woman's going to be on the same day, it's just like, oof. It's like if you would go to the theater. If you're going to the theater and you see Wonder Woman on Christmas Day and you see Soul, which one are you going to go see? It's probably going to be probably going to see Wonder Woman. Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. We'll see what happens.
The movie world is just so warped now and just so like convoluted and crazy.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah.
So
bye theaters. Sorry to say it.
I know it might be the nail in the coffin.
It really might
be there, but geez. So speaking of movies and Christmas, I'm tying this all together now. Me and Emily, she actually went on like a Christmas Carol, like the actual Charles Dickens story. Yeah. She went like on a movie spree. And watched like at least I think it was like 2 or 3 of them. She watched like the Mickey Mouse one.
A lot out there.
Yeah,
like there's the Jim Carrey one. There's the Muppets. There's like a super old black and white one. There's one that
seen like a one of them.
Yeah, they showed one in school that I remember watching, and I was like, that one is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see the Disney one, or she watched like the Mickey Mouse one, and typically, and I think the one I've seen is also like very child friendly. It's played around with in a softer sense. But like the Jim Carrey one, I'd never seen that one, and we watched it, and it's like scary and dark, and it's supposedly like verbatim of the book. And it's crazy.
Yeah,
that was man. I was actually shook. It was actually like a really cool movie.
Yeah, I think that Jim Carrey one is the most true adaptation of the ones that I've seen. I love that one, and me and Val we started watching Home Alone 1 and 2, and we're trying to save like the good stuff like for like the week of Christmas, like Jim Carrey's Grinch and stuff like that. But we started watching Elf last night. Mm-hmm. Such a good movie,
dude. That's the one we say for the Christmas Day, dude.
No, we do the TNT 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story.
Yeah, that's true. All 24 hours of Christmas
all 24 hours. Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know how they still get away with that. That's awesome.
It's not, it's cable. You can do a lot of stuff with cable.
I used to I could not find Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I could not find that movie anywhere, and it was never airing anywhere on Christmas. And I could always see, the Christmas Story, and it was just the worst. I was like, why can't I watch the movie I want to watch, and everyone gets to watch this for 24 hours? The worst.
Yeah, no, Christmas movies are great. We're gonna break those down like the next coming weeks or so. But yeah, like we started Elf.
Dude, nice.
We're I don't know like what's next in terms of like a Christmas viewership, But I just started putting up lights. And
nice.
I totally underestimated how many lights I'm gonna actually need.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So like we have a little patio, and I'm going out like wrapping like little blue and white icicle lights around the top of it.
Yeah.
And I have a 200 count strand, which I think is like, I have no idea how many feet it is, but like it barely even reaches halfway. So I got to get at least one more, And then I have like this big pole that like helps support the patio. So I got to like do something with that.
Wait, have y'all got a tree yet?
Oh yeah, we okay, everyone. We found Val's Christmas aesthetic. Finally.
What is that?
Yeah, what is it?
Red and gold.
Oh, yeah.
That's white. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No. Okay. So we went to Walmart to get a tree, and we found a really nice, like, semi-frocked tree, kind of like this one on the screen.
Is it like this one?
It's almost like that one.
Over yonder.
Yeah. Right. There we go. Yeah. Right here. There's a squirrel in there.
Is that a squirrel?
And so we go there, and of course it's Walmart. They're out of that one, and so we're like, fine, we'll go to Walmart.com and we'll order it. Because shout out to Walmart, they actually have 2-day free shipping compared to Amazon.
Wait.
No, if you order something at Walmart, you have free 2-day shipping.
So same thing with Amazon.
Yeah, but Amazon you pay a Prime membership for that.
So you're saying it's free 2 days.
You don't need to sign up for anything. You can just order it, and it's automatically there.
I was like, wow, he's really throwing shade at Amazon for
I know. Walmart.
Oh, I mean, Jeff Bezos could absolutely be Santa Claus. He just chooses not to.
But they have.
Okay, there are the shots. There are the shots. I was waiting for those.
Amazon Walmart debate coming soon.
Yeah. And of course, they're out of it on Walmart.com, so we can't find this really nice tree that we like. And so I was just really upset. And then we go to Amazon, we find a tree we like, we order it. Less than like 5 hours later.
Just prove the point why you pay for the subscription.
Okay, so we order it, and like 5 hours later, Val gets an email saying that we canceled the order. We never did.
But that happened.
Okay,
right.
gotcha.
Well,
so we never canceled the order. Someone did. And so we reorder it. Gets canceled. And
so
it keeps saying
Target.
So then to Target.
So we went back to Walmart.
Oh god!
And because the Target ones are like ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. We're trying to find something under $100, and Target, like, that's like the starting point was like 200. And then so we went back to Walmart. We found another tree, but it turned out to be it's perfect. We went with the warm lights. Don't do the multicolored stuff. Not a big fan of the multicolored stuff. And then we found red and white bulbs. We found gold bulbs. It only cost us 3 bulbs because they were glass. And all 3 of those shattered. Val cut herself cleaning up the glass.
Good thing she's a doctor.
I know.
Oh, y'all amateur Christmas people.
That's what I'm like. That's what I felt like. It was horrible. I felt so much pressure decorating my tree for some reason. I felt so much pressure.
It's your first Christmas married, so y'all are probably got the heebie-jeebies.
It's very true. We went and bought our first Christmas ornament or whatever.
Yeah.
It's day 4 in December. Relax.
No.
Breathe.
2-month anniversary, and they're like freaking out.
Also, Daniel, did you notice how he just threw shots at Amazon and Walmart?
I mean,
I'm
an unsatisfied customer.
I was because he threw shade, and then I was like, well, that proves the point. But then he made it come around, and I was like, okay, I got you.
Halfway through that, I couldn't tell if he was complimenting one or
insulting
the other. I was just so lost.
Always be insulting. Don't worry. But okay, so real tragedy though is I have this Iron Man ornament. It's a cool little action pose with Iron Man. Tragedy. I'm pulling it out of the Hallmark box. I drop it.
Oh no.
And Iron Man's foot is shattered and his wrist is shattered, but I have the technology to fix him.
Oh dude, you did. Yeah, you have the miniature glue and stuff.
I can put this guy back together.
Or you could make him like Infinity War. Like you could hurt him a little more. Get a new one.
Yeah.
And like hurt him a little bit more, but also make him look kind of like Infinity
War. Like battle worn and stuff.
Yeah. Like put a good slash right here on the chest. Like
that'd be kind of cool. I kind of like that idea.
Go for it, man. Get a new one though. Get a new one too.
Yeah. So but we found the Christmas set. We put it up. We went to Hobby Lobby. Shout out to Hobby Lobby.
Oh, dude, always great this time of year.
Yeah, like they have 50% off all their Christmas stuff, and we went there at we went there on a Saturday. But it was crazy. Like we stood in line for like almost 40 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Crap, I've never stayed that long in a line.
And this was every single aisle, and we went and bought like a bunch of decorations and stuff, and everything was 50% off. So we're kind of going a little too ham, but yeah, we waited in line. Like the lines were wrapped around the store, like into the aisles and stuff.
Yeah,
and like
Jeez.
People are vicious at Hobby Lobby. Like Karens need to calm down. Okay.
Dude, from Black Friday to like the end of December, like that's when people are the most intense at.
Well, that's the thing, though. I went out on Friday. I went to Target on Friday, and Walmart on Friday. Nothing.
Like Hobby Lobby.
Dead.
Really?
But on Saturday at Hobby Lobby, like there are certain levels of Karen. Like the Hobby Lobby Karens are a little more tolerable, but they were out in force and like nitpicking everything and like hitting my basket and stuff.
Dude, yeah, I hate going shopping.
Running around like get your Kyles under control.
Oh my gosh!
They already have a Monster can with them.
Do they even sell Monster at Hobby Lobby? Dude?
They do not.
I actually think they sell drinks. They sell drinks and candy there, though.
They have candy. I mean, they have a crap ton of candy, guys. They have a crap ton of candy.
Well, like, who goes to Hobby Lobby to get candy? Let's be honest.
Well, if you're a Karen, you need something to get you by for your crafting.
I was going to say to like
crafting and candy
for your kids named Kyle, but yeah, that's
yeah. Yeah. So I started putting up lights around the house, and it looks really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I'm super excited, and I believe my mother's coming into town, so that'll be fun,
dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a long trip. That's like a really long trip, though.
I think she's gonna fly, so it'll be like maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually really good.
Dude, yeah, that's a quick flight, and you're not too far.
No. It's like from Corpus to Houston is like 30 minutes, like in a good time, 45 if you're being delayed. You know, so Baton Rouge is like
and right now
distant time, so it'll be like maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah,
so not a bad flight.
Yeah. Nowadays it'll probably be like really like no waiting, and it'll be dead at the airport.
That this is why I can't stand the CDC. They said that it's like your chances of getting COVID on an airplane are like virtually impossible, even if the plane's full, which is bullshit.
Wait, they said that?
Yeah, the CDC released that report. Yeah,
that's weird. My flight, they won't. Yeah, my flight, they wouldn't fill it up. My flight, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, but they're doing the whole like one person sit, empty seat, one person sit.
Yeah,
aisle, empty seat, one person sit, and then they go on to the next one.
Yeah.
And like because like the way like my brother and I were going to leave at the same time, but he moved his flight up. But originally he was going to sit in front of me rather than next to me.
Why did he move his flight up? Why does he not love you?
Well, because he was going to go today. So because he was going to go with his wife so they can visit his brother-in-law. But it got delayed again, so now he's not leaving until tomorrow morning anyway. So he should have just left with me, but whatever. I mean, I get it.
It says most viruses and other germs don't spread easily on flights because of how air circulates and is filtered on airplanes.
It makes a little sense.
But
we're all breathing that air.
But it's it's saying. I don't know. It's saying it's filtered and circulates different up there in the air or in the airplane. I don't know. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Who knows?
CDC.
I took a COVID test. This is for our audience.
I took a
COVID test. I stuck something in my nose, and it went good. It went well.
Those things are very weird, man.
I teared up a little bit because I had to do it myself, so I didn't know that. I just went to like CVS. You just go through the drive-through, and they like use a little pharmaceutical thing to where they like put it in, and then it sends it out.
Give us a description of what a pharmaceutical thing is.
It's just a nose swab in a tube.
Yeah.
And you take it out, and you do it all in your car.
Yeah.
I did one not too long ago too. It was I didn't have any symptoms or anything. I just did it so that I would know that I was negative when I visited family. But that's the thing. Chris is tearing up and stuff, and yeah, this thing is like, it's a weird swab,
right?
And it's a bunch of like fibers on it.
Yeah,
and it is very sensitive. You have to put it in your nose and then turn it like back and forth for like 15 seconds, and it's like got all these fibers on it. And I didn't have any symptoms, but I was sneezing and crying all over the place.
That's another thing. I was sneezing a lot after. Like it's uncomfortable. It's super uncomfortable. I was saying this before the podcast. I don't think it's so intense to where you need to like freak out about taking it. Like I'm gonna go ahead and tell people, if you want to get tested, I would say go ahead and get tested.
Yeah,
it's so uncomfortable. Easy. It sucks, but you do it 15 seconds around one nostril, 15 seconds around the other. You're done. Yeah, it was just I didn't know what to do. So when I drove up, he put it in the little chute that they send it to you. And I did, and he was on the intercom. He was like, all right, so grab the bag out of the other bag. Like, cause it's like one bag, and in this one bag, there are like 3 other bags. And he was like, all right, grab one of the bags.
Yeah.
And I look so confused. I just look at him and go, which one?
Yeah.
That would be me too. Knowing me, I would feel so much anxiety. I would just drive off.
That's true.
It's a multi-step process. I can't do it.
Because they're used to like, all right, what are you here for? You picking up, you dropping off, whatever. And they're not used to like, all right, here's how you do. Like they're not used to walking people through physical processes. So,
and you could tell this guy was over it.
Yeah,
I could tell the minute I asked one question, he took a minute to respond. So like I asked him like, okay, so
talking shit. That's what he did.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Heavy sigh, like.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he was talking shit, I wouldn't be able to tell because he was wearing a mask. Okay, hold on. Funny thing. This is like the perfect time to talk shit about anybody in public because they can't see you saying it.
I'm an idiot. I still like if I make awkward eye contact with somebody, like at like a Walmart line, I still smile.
Dude, I do too.
So when I'm at the museum and I'm smiling and talking to somebody, it's like I feel like that's a good thing because you can like kind of tell if someone's smiling, But like if I'm out in public and I'm wearing a mask and I smile at somebody or like I talk to somebody, it's like they're probably like
we have to learn how to smile with our eyes like models do, and I don't know how to do that.
I just open them super wide, just.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you could do. Just, I'm happy now.
Yeah, it's so yesterday we went kind of like a quick trip to Target and we bought like 17,000 monsters and Gamer Fuels. Yeah. Shout out to Gamer Fuel. You get double XP code. I tagged Mountain Dew. I went and found their account and liked it on Facebook, and I started putting a bunch of comments like our podcast, and dude. And then I started putting
us into our podcast. Mountain Dew. Like send us some of your stuff so we can drink it on air.
I know, like I have plenty of room for a fridge in my now clean room. So.
Oh yeah, exactly.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah,
Monster Mountain
cashier, and she's like, we're buying like 17 monsters. Like it's an unhealthy amount of monsters and caffeine on this conveyor belt. And
is it though?
No, absolutely not. I needed more. And Val needed more. And I go up to her and I'm like, I swear we drink water. Lady didn't even smile or nothing.
Oh yeah.
She didn't acknowledge me.
Yeah, actually, I hate to see it.
Dude, this is also another thing. Like, I feel super bad for
retail workers and stuff.
Yeah, retail workers, because
I mean, they got into it. They signed up for it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're not wrong, but like, also, like, I would like to show appreciation when I go into the store, so they know that their job doesn't completely suck,
Right.
But I can't show that when I have this huge mask on my face and they can only see my eyes and nose, not even my nose.
You better be covering your nose there, boy.
Yeah, don't be wearing a chin diaper, dude. It's like it goes over your nose, bro.
South Park.
Like all those NFL coaches, wear your mask.
Daniel? Did you watch that South Park? Dude, it was such a good episode.
Emily's dad came over a while back. Or a while back. Maybe it was last weekend.
Last week.
Thanksgiving, huh? Thanksgiving was like, what, 2 months ago?
I know.
That's what it feels like.
I put a band Thanksgiving real quick.
So we were just cruising and we're just chilling, and South Park pandemic special is on there. Obviously rated R, guys. Don't watch in front of your kids and stuff. It gets kind of crazy. But they make fun of the pandemic. They pretty much make fun of all sides of the spectrum when it comes to like the riots and the masking, the social distancing, everything that's happened. They make fun of it all. So it was it's South Park. It is what it is. But yeah, then they coined the like the chin diaper. Like everyone's wearing their mask right here. Or just completely off their face. Like they're wearing a mask, but it's right here, not covering anything. And, we all know people like that. So,
yeah.
Or we've seen people like that.
I thought they did it well.
Yeah.
Just, okay. So this is going back to like my previous episode, or our previous episode where I mentioned this, but this is why I like listening to like comedians talk about like politics or issues in the world or things things of this nature. Just because they're always coming at it at the most unbiased, like more like centralistic point of view, to where they're gonna make fun of both sides for it.
Yeah,
it's hilarious because that's what this was. Is like they were making fun of like both the anti-maskers and people who are like very stern on wearing masks, and they were just making fun of them all in one place at the same time.
Yeah, we enjoyed that. I was kind of surprised that they did that.
Yeah. I haven't seen South Park since like high school. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it much. So every time I do, it's kind of Emily either gets me to watch it. She what's the Inception one where they go into like 7,000 dreams?
That
one's the one I've seen like numerous times.
It's like where they like go into like the therapist's office and then
that one is funny.
Yeah. Like the whole fire, like the firefighter, or is it the firefighters? And
firefighters come
in the football team or something too. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch of people that go into the dreams.
Dude, it is South Park. Me and my younger brother would always like watch it, and whenever a new season started, so we watched it often. When this pandemic special came out, like we watched it that day, and like we just stopped what we were doing and turned on. And I can't tell you how bad we were laughing, dude. We were dying, dude. It was like, I thought, because that was like the first time like during the pandemic where I'm like legitimately sitting there and enjoying content like out in the world that's not making me feel terrible. That's so funny. That's so enjoyable. And that's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
All right.
Dude, check it out real quick. It is Murphy's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Murphy!
And
what are y'all doing?
We're in the puppy park, and they're all playing in the snow. She's 3 years old today, man.
That's crazy.
Damn. I need to bring Archie so she can see Archie.
Yeah. I mean, her boyfriend, dude. Her boyfriend's not here to celebrate.
Right? How dare him?
I know.
Yo, so 3 years ago, well, just around 3 years ago, we brought Murphy into the apartment, and it was a surprise to Elijah.
Very surprising.
It was really funny because actually I took Emily to go to my dad's because he had a bunch of animals there, a bunch of dogs. I was like, hey, it's kind of like PetSmart. You can just go see a bunch of dogs, like no strings attached, right?
Uh-huh.
Wrong. She wanted one of them. So I was like, all right, like, I'm like 1 month into the marriage so far. So I'm like, I don't want to mess this up, So she's like, I was like, all right, we'll take one.
Before having a child, to get a puppy and to talk about responsibility. So there's that.
Yeah, exactly. So we ended up doing that, and we bring it home, and it was very cute. Murphy was very cute that day. And she was tiny. She was hella tiny. And we bring her into the apartment and we're like, hey, Elijah. And then he comes out of his room and he goes like, oh, is that a puppy? Like super high pitched. You know how puppies make people's like voices super high. And Elijah's was very high that day.
Well, the thing about it is I'm pretty sure I dreamed Murphy into existence. Now, I'm a pretty big proponent of lucid dreaming and dreams in general. Dreams have meanings, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But the night before y'all were coming back, I dreamed that you and Emily were bringing home a dog. And I was taking care of Harley, so I think that's why it triggered me to think about another dog.
Yeah.
And, I was chilling with Harley, and then I go to sleep and stuff. And my dream was like y'all coming into the apartment with a dog. And then that day, y'all came into the apartment with a dog. So it's crazy. And my first name for Murphy though was Cloud because she was really white.
Mm-hmm.
And as she's grown up, she's gotten some like really pronounced spots. But I voted for Cloud. It was immediately shot down, and that's okay. Yeah. I think Murphy's a great name.
Yeah, we wanted something a little unique and
So I absolutely love Murphy, and when I first met Murphy, she wouldn't really come to me or like she would let me pet her and everything like that, but like she was usually just kind of like out and about playing in the backyard because I'd being Archie. And I remember the first time I think it was the time I came when Elijah was officially moving, and I came over. And it was the greatest moment that I shared with Murphy because I got in and Murphy was so excited to see me. And I was like, this is awesome. Then we went to sit down somewhere. And usually I would like try to call Murphy before and she would never come to me, or like she would never jump on my lap and just stay there for a second, let me pet her. And I called her to try it and she came running, jumped on, just sat on my lap and let me pet her for a second and then went and ran along and did her thing. Like that was the greatest Murphy moment I've had. So I'm glad you got her.
Yeah, man. It's been interesting. We'll have to spend the whole weekend with her. 3 years old is just crazy.
That's super crazy.
Dude, they grow up quick.
They do.
For sure.
They do.
Ruby mentioned on the chat here that Jim Carrey's the best Grinch ever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then like Jim Carrey was also Scrooge. Like he just had the monopoly of like cranky people in Christmas.
Yeah. Well, even to go a little beyond Christmas, Eggman.
Oh, yeah, he did that too.
He was Eggman, but again, that's not Christmas related. But yeah, he does. I only know the Jim Carrey Grinch though. I don't know any other Grinch.
The super classic like animated Seuss book Grinch.
Oh yeah,
absolutely go see that. That's great because it's verbatim of the book.
Who did the voice for that?
Oh, some guy from the 50s. I can't remember.
OG guy from
yeah. Like, but the new Grinch that came out was the most horrible thing I've ever seen in a Christmas movie.
That was Benedict Cumberbatch, wasn't it?
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Cucumber.
No, Jim Carrey is my Grinch.
It's like the Despicable Me people did that movie, right? It's like Despicable Me.
Yeah.
It pretty much is Despicable Me, but just with Grinch implanted on it.
Yeah.
And it's so bad.
Weird characters that don't exist are in there, and it's dumb. It's a dumb movie. It doesn't like the Grinch isn't Grinch enough. Like I don't know. Like everything about that movie was just stupid. It was wrong. It was sacrilege. It was
nothing wrong with the OG and the Jim Carrey one. I mean,
nothing wrong with those. No one calls for a remake of the Grinch.
Absolutely not.
No one's calling for these remakes.
We do need a Mortal Kombat remake though, or at least
we do. Hold on. Show me the trailer first. Show me the preview first.
Dude, I didn't even know that was happening. I'm like, I want to watch Mortal Kombat now.
Dude, the games are cool. They're still like coming out. Like the games are still fun.
Oh yeah.
They could have weird characters like be involved in Mortal Kombat, like the Terminator.
Yeah.
I think Freddy Krueger is a character.
Hey, you know what that means? You know what that means, though? Is that everybody can catch these hands.
Oh my god! And then Rambo, I think, was like just released or something like that. Rambo, like Rambo, like Rambo.
RoboCop was in it for a little bit.
I think
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in one.
Injustice too.
They were in Injustice. I think. I don't think it was Mortal
Kombat. Well, they're both made by the same
people,
same company, I think. So. It's just great. That's great.
Mortal Kombat is a good movie.
Yeah. So I have a complaint for y'all.
Okay.
Break into a rant real quick because
let's do it.
It's Christmas related because it's we're starting college basketball a little later than usual, which I enjoy. I'm okay with that. More time for the actual content of football. Okay. So college football or college basketball is happening, and they usually host a tournament over Thanksgiving weekend, but they delayed it for this weekend, which I don't know what the 1 week meant, but it happened. The Maui Invitational, which is a really good tournament. That it's a really good way to kick off college basketball. Always features really good teams, really good matches, stuff like that. Blah blah blah. And it's in Maui. Like, come on, who doesn't want to go?
That's true.
Who just want to go play basketball in Maui? So we get to the final in the championship game, and it's Texas, my boys, and North Carolina, my real boys. So blue blood of the basketball world. And Texas, who's good this year. They should be good this year. Shaka Smart, you're not fired. You have a grace year. Do it,
Do it.
And college basketball is a dying sport, I believe. The one and done thing's really killing the talent pool in there. There's no development. Offense sucks.
G League money.
Money is calling all of these players to leave, so offense sucks. You're lucky to get 25 points in a half nowadays, and that's ridiculous. Yeah. In the 90s and early 2000s, when you had Five Slamma Jamma, the Fab Five, college basketball used to be great. It used to be great, and I'm still trying to stick to this sport. I'm trying to tell people about it. ESPN does really good stuff. They have an announcer, though, that needs to go rotten hell. His name is Bill Walton.
Yeah.
And his name's Bill Walton. Great NBA legend. I respect what he did for the game, but as a commentator, he sucks.
Yeah.
Get him off the mic. Dick Vitale is 100,000 years old, but at least he talks about the game that's happening and still
got energy, man.
Bill Walton went on a 10-minute tangent about the Alamo during the game, which that's great. I'm all about the Alamo and the Carolina connection and stuff like that. Don't spend 10 minutes talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, during the game.
Wow.
During the game. As a transitional thing, coming back from the half or a commercial or a timeout or something like that. He spent 10 minutes talking about it. And his the play-by-play guy is trying to move the game along. And Walton is just tirading.
He keeps going back.
About, he's trying to move on.
It's we didn't prep any graphics for the Alamo or anything. So let's move on to the game.
They don't prep anything. And he always talks about there's always the commentator bias. I get it. With Kirk Herbstreit, doesn't like Texas, loves Ohio State. I get it. I'm gonna have bias if I was commentating.
So you think he was just not wanting to talk about it because it was.
Yeah,
he didn't like
Pac-12. It's not the conference that he played in, so he doesn't care. It's just talking and talking and talking, and isn't breaking down any sort of play or anything, or doing his job as the color analyst. Gotcha. And so, if you're trying to get into college basketball, I apologize if he's calling a game. He just so happened to call Texas, North Carolina, which, for me, I cut off work early. I'm sitting in front of my TV. I did all my errands and stuff. I'm ready to watch this game. And this was the announcer that you chose.
I finally washed the dishes, so I didn't have to later, so I could spend time watching.
Exactly. And that's what happened. They put Bill Walton on the screen. Get him off the network.
Dude, do you think his his co-host or whatever they like cut the mic at one point and he just turned over and he's like,
done it before.
Bill, I need you to just shut up right now.
No, they really have done that before.
Like, we're gonna go to break and just like. Just like
that's what I'm saying. That they've done this before, and you can sell it. Like it gets contentious. It's not
right.
like there are great commentator duos, and then there are just some bad commentators out there. Like Joe Buck gets a lot of flack.
Paul Pierce,
yeah. Well, honestly though, Paul Pierce is not that good. Like
he's bad. He's
like at first I liked Jalen Rose. I don't like Jalen Rose anymore.
Oh,
nah.
Like his takes and stuff are just they're stupid.
I mean, he's not as he's
not as bad as Skip Bayless though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like those people, I can't stand him and like Nick Wright and stuff like that. Like really, all I really listen to now is Chris Coward.
Yeah.
And all I did is like it's kind of sparingly.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, there are some great commentators in basketball, like Dick Vitale. He's 100 years old, but you can still tell he loves basketball and like he'll talk about it. Jay Billis is a great commentator. Like I love listening to him talk. I get rid of Bill Walton. Like I can't. Like you're hurting the sport that's already dying.
He really started this with he needs to go to hell.
Go to hell. Go anywhere else.
Go hell. I think what you've done, Bill Walton. It's just in the Pac-12, okay?
We're living in like a world where it's like important to get these points across, and it's important for them to recognize what you're saying. They should definitely. They should pick up on that professionally anyway, and they should make changes. But we're living in a world where it's like, hey, like I'm a fan here. Hey, I'm letting you know, like this sucks.
Yeah.
Like Snyder cut, like get me this, things like that are happening in this world right now. Yeah. And that, we just need
to. You don't have a shortage of commentators like ESPN, especially for college basketball. Like they have commentators all the time. Like. Just get rid of him.
Just focus. Commentators should just focus on the game and give their takes after the fact, or let the podcasts that are based around sports do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like the reason why I'm listening to the color analyst is to break down the game, break down the players. Talk about the game itself, not go on 10-minute tangents about something completely unrelated. And Bill Walton does this constantly.
At least if you have a tangent, like. Come up, prep that beforehand, have graphics, spend 30 seconds on it so you have going across.
Yeah, you'll have a production meeting. Like you talk to the players and the coaches and stuff before the games. Like y'all have time to do all this stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like if they're
says F it and just goes off. It just talks about the Alamo for 10 minutes.
And that's the thing. It's like they're legends and stuff, so they kind of get some leeway to just talk about whatever the hell they want. And so, I mean, do they get backlash, from execs or from? It has to be from us. It has to be from you.
I feel like they do because I know that they've cut Bill Walton sort of like airtime. Like he's only calling like X amount of games now. Used to be like he'd call every other game. It'd be like Jay Billis and Sean McDermott, which great tandem. Love those guys. I love the play-by-play guy that's partnered with Bill Walton right now. Mm-hmm. But I can't stand him. Like, so I muted the game, put it on my tablet, and I watched a really horrible Steelers-Ravens game that shouldn't have been played.
Ooh.
So I watched that instead of enjoying a great game. Like, it came to a last-second buzzer with Coleman hitting that 3, calling ice in his veins. Like, really great moment, really good moment for the program, for Texas. Mm-hmm. It's the second year in a row where you've beaten North Carolina. It's and they got a really good player in Mark Brown, who's like watching this guy, super athletic, super high end on the development end, and I can't enjoy any of that because Bill Walton's talking about the Alamo for 10 minutes
Jeez.
and not talking about the game.
So, okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In terms of like commentators,
Yeah.
for the TNT crew,
Yeah.
do you like how they comment like in halftime or at the end of the game? I know this is for NBA. This isn't for like specifically for college. We do NBA games, but do you like that, or do you consider that more? Oh, you do?
I think the crew that they've won an Emmy. Like that crew is good.
Yeah, but Ernie, man. Ernie's like mad every day, dude.
Ernie's struggling in the back. Like he's definitely doing some heavy size.
Ernie, dude. I feel for Ernie sometimes, dude.
And it ends up turning into like a roast of Shaq or a roast of Chuck.
Yeah. Or just them like yelling over each other, and Ernie can't close out the segment, dude. Like,
so Ernie, dude. Time, and in their earpiece, they're yelling at him.
Yeah. They probably pay Ernie real good to put up with all their shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I think they take care of Ernie. I think Ernie's a good guy. They take care of him.
I love Ernie, dude.
I was just trying to
those crews are good. Like I like that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's fun.
Show your personality. I'm not saying just completely shut off and be autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
Your personality and stuff. Just don't be so extreme. Like you're turning viewership away from the game. Like don't be like that.
If you show your personality, keep it to the game. Show your personality within explaining what the game is.
Like Dick Vitale does a great job. He's got a lot of energy, and he loves the game. He loves what's happening, and he feeds off what's happening on the court. When you're not even feeding off what's happening on the court, it's like you're just there talking about nonsense. It's like
exactly. I love him calling like the high profile basketball, like Duke versus Carolina. Whenever I love watching him call like a Duke game or a Michigan game or something like that. Like you could tell, like he's in it, and he said like he feeds off the crowd, he feeds off that gameplay, and he breaks stuff down, And Jay Bilas is the same way. Like Jay Bilas, it's the same way, and it's I don't know, like again, it's a dying sport. Keep the commentating like it's such an integral part of a game now, like especially if you're watching on television, I'm not gonna watch certain commentators. I'm just like, because I don't enjoy them, Like I at first didn't really like Romo because I think he makes a lot of weird noises. He does a lot of weird noises and stuff when and he's like, ooh, ee, ah, ooh, ah, yeah, oh.
But the thing is like that
he calls
investment within the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's calling plays. He's like, "Hey, watch this receiver on that bubble screen," and all of a sudden the bubble screen it's great. Like
there have been clips of like him and whoever he's like partnered with that week talking about something, and Tony Romo will cut him off and say, "Look, they're about to do this, or he's about to throw an hour out to whoever."
Yeah, and he's calling defense too, and he's like, "Watch the blitz off that linebacker," and you're like, "Oh, okay, all right." Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, like nothing happened. Like it was a normal day.
Crazy.
Yeah. So my rant is against Bill Walton specifically, but against commentators, and like we need to hold them more accountable. Like everyone poops on Joe Buck, but I actually kind of enjoy Joe Buck. I won't lie, but we need to hold these people to a higher standard. Like we need to cancel them on Twitter.
Cancel them. It probably sucks too because they're running like skeleton crews right now anyway.
Yeah,
so it'd probably be hard to even get rid of people.
Well, with ESPN. I mean, they let John Gruden walk, and they let Mike Tirico walk. I love Mike Tirico. Like him on NBC now is like he's calling Notre Dame games with Mike Dungy. Awesome.
Really?
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Nice. And then him and Chris Collinsworth called the Ravens game, and that was fun. That was fun to listen. Like I could listen to Chris Collinsworth call football.
Yeah, I was about to say he's like my favorite commentator when it comes to NFL games, dude.
Yeah, like I can listen to him all day talking, and it's just like I don't know. We need to get these people
get them out of here. Just get them out. Get them
I
out.
don't want to call Willoughby's job. I'm gonna call for Bill Willoughby's job. I'm gonna call for it. Like,
oh my god, he didn't even like sexually assault a woman or anything.
I know, right?
His job.
It's crazy, dude.
that game. I want to enjoy a game. I just wanted to enjoy Texas, North Carolina. Couldn't do it. So one of those things is next time like he's on a game and I'll have the ability to turn it off. I realized I could have done this though. There's the local sports station, The Horn. They have a guy named Craig Way, great guy. I like he calls really good games. Like he's the voice of Texas. Like he calls all the Texas stuff. Mm-hmm. I should have muted it and synced it up with the basketball game and just have him talk. You know.
There you go.
But yeah, that was my big thing this week. College basketball. I'm glad you're back.
Just get a new commentator.
Get a new commentator. Just get a new commentator. Like your sport's not on life support yet, but people don't like you until March. That's not a good sign.
That's very true.
So Daniel, do you have a rant you want to just pop out real quick? I guess as we're bringing that back.
I mean, no, not necessarily, but I have a question. Do y'all know what Second Life is?
The virtual game. Dwight Schrute played it.
Dwight played it.
I downloaded. Okay, so funny thing. Before you get to your question, is after that episode, I downloaded the game and I tried doing the intro, but I don't know if it was like the game was bad, but it was basically when I like did the intro and saw my body, it was my head and my arms, and my body was just clear. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it was. Yeah, it was like it couldn't have been my computer because it's like a gaming computer and that's not like an intense game. But like
my best part is that Dwight plays Dwight in Second Life. Like he does it like he's wearing the mustard colored short sleeve shirt and khakis and stuff.
I completely forgot that they mentioned that in The Office, and I thought that it was kind of just something they made up. Like I didn't think it was something real that they were referencing.
Yeah.
And then Emily shows me this documentary on Netflix, I believe, and it's about Second Life, and it's people that are interviewed. It's like I think it's three people, three individuals that all go through their own thing. One who's like actually making money off Second Life, so she's like designing like houses and stuff for people so they don't have to actually do it. She gets actual currency from it. There's one who actually has a marriage and is like getting on Second Life secretly and like completely living in this world. Like everyone gets sucked into this world because it's so, there's no actual problems.
Yeah, you could live your own fantasy as you want.
Right.
And there are actual, like, aside from that, I've heard like there are actual jobs you can get in Second Life.
Yeah.
When I downloaded it, again, I've never played it since. I like uninstalled it that day. Just going to go ahead and say that now.
Yeah.
But when I downloaded it and when I went to their website, it was like you can get paid for doing actual jobs. I was like, oh, maybe I can get into it. And then that's when the whole body mishap happened. And
I can't work anywhere when I look transparent. That's weird. No, it's the documentary is very interesting. It gets really into how people get sucked into that stuff. People also change their, they create their avatar to be whatever they want type of thing. And it gets crazy. Yeah. But Emily decided to get one just to mess around with it. And it was really funny to watch her do that. She can like fly. She can design herself however she wants. And for the longest time, we couldn't figure out how to put pants on, which was hilarious.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I need y'all's help.
Well, so Emily reached out to Val and like they wanted to do something together, kind of like how we all play COD or something.
Yeah.
So they're gonna start playing Half-Life together or Second Life, not Half-Life.
Second Life. No, not Half-Life. Not Half-Life. Not Half-Life.
And so we're watching Elf last night, and Val downloads it, and she's trying to go through the tutorial, and she tries to fly, and she just shoots up like all of a sudden. skybox is literally just like the horizon, and it's curved out. She's so far up, I guess.
Wait, it's curved?
Yeah, it's curved. It's not flat.
So even in Second Life, the world is not flat.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Isn't that more double proof for the flat earthers, Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
And she's like screaming, like, "How do I get down? How do I stop?" And and of course, she didn't read any of the instructions of how to fly. She just hit up and flew. You know, she didn't read any of the instructions or anything.
Yeah.
And so watching her like panic through all of this like stuff is great. And
It's
it
hilarious.
made me think of like all the tutorials I've done for games and like how stupid they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like Magic Arena for Magic the Gathering card game has a tutorial, and you have to get through like 5 of these things. I don't need to. I've been playing Magic for like a decade. I don't need to go through this tutorial, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it still makes you go through the tutorial.
Yeah.
So
Well, there was like a tutorial on like how to put clothes on and stuff, and so she's like trying to put on. She like takes off the dress thing that she got like loaded into with. She's like, I want to put on some jeans, and it's just butt, and like it's like jeans are on, and I'm like looking at it with her, and she's like freaking out, and it's like, why isn't it working? And at no point in the tutorial does it tell you that you have to choose a texture for whatever clothing that you're putting on. So the texture is transparent because she hasn't chosen one. So it's just showing her butt. And I was like, well, click that. And then finally we got clothes on. And I was like, it took like 30 minutes though to put pants on.
oh my god.
It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious to watch. But yeah, they didn't go through that in the tutorial. They just want everybody to walk around naked.
Exactly. Just have them jump in on split screen and COD. I'm telling you, that'll be so much easier than having to go through tutorials on Second Life.
I know.
Yeah, I'll have to create some. We have to get them on COD eventually, like at least once.
My goal in life is to do that and nothing else.
Or like, let's make like a private lobby, and then just let's just go ham and just shoot everywhere.
Yeah, we could play with bots. We could set up like a 6-man team and play with bots.
Let's do it, man. That sounds great.
You could like it would be super easy. I'm going to use a sniper though. Just heads up to practice.
Yeah, same here.
All those asshole snipers out there.
Oh no, one-shotters.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
All right. Do we have any more church announcements? Any final parting words? Any words of wisdom?
We will. I will be back on Facebook Live at our normal time, but we're gonna start doing some mini series. So stay tuned for that. So tomorrow at 11, I'll be on.
Hey. I will not. So
check out your boy. Go check out your boy Elijah.
Please come and say hi to Elijah. Let him know that you love him, that you care for him, and that he doesn't smell as bad. Still smells bad, just not as bad. But no, definitely come and check out Elijah. He's going to be doing history stuff? ?
Yeah.
Yes, he's going to be bringing those words of wisdom. So this has been another episode of the Thought Arcade. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's December, so we're going to have a lot of Christmas stuff.
Coming up.
We'll be sure to wear your Christmas sweaters, so I'm not the only one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you. No, but yeah, it will be a lot of like Christmas related episodes, so definitely stay tuned. Keep listening. We also, like Elijah said, are going to come up with like mini series and things like that to kind of branch out a little bit. So definitely stay tuned. But yeah, this has been another episode of Thought Arcade. Thanks, guys.
Bye.